Hey developers, today we're going to look at the other side of coding bootcamps. So a lot of the things you hear about coding bootcamps is pretty positive. You may see a lot of advertisements on a lot of people's YouTube channels. You may see a lot of interviews with people that had a positive experience with coding bootcamps, but actually not everyone has the greatest experiences. And that's why I wanted today to interview Jason. He actually went to a coding bootcamp and didn't have the greatest experience. Now, obviously, I'm not saying all bootcamps are bad, but I want to give a different perspective for people who may be interested in joining a coding bootcamp and aren't sure if it's right for them. So if you're going to a coding bootcamp, or you know someone that is going to a coding bootcamp, send them this video. This will give them a different perspective and idea of what can happen if you go to one. And let me just say, I'm not completely against coding bootcamps. I think there's a lot of different ways you can learn programming, from a traditional education to being self-taught, but I just want to shed a light on some of the things that can happen when you join a coding bootcamp. Hey, and if you guys like this video, make sure you click that subscribe button, like button, and make sure you share this with your friends. And so let's begin. Oh yeah, and one more thing before we start. If you guys like these type of videos, I have some links below with some of my favorite web development courses, and also you can join my mailing list and you'll be notified next time some of these videos come up. That'll be perfect, so make sure you click on that. Jason, you attended the UCLA Coding Bootcamp. Explain a little bit about that program.
It's basically like full stack JavaScript. So you learn Node and you learn React, and you also learn a bit React Native. But it's not really learning. It's like basically just give you projects and you just do it on your own. And there's like 1 week and it's really rushed in general. And then it was kind of haphazard, but like they try to teach us, but it was a lot of information in a short amount of time. So it felt really rushed. And then there's things I didn't learn, but the bootcamp did finally help me click jQuery. But after that, I got really lost. So
Okay.
there's a lot of things I still don't know and touch base off. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so it's a 1 week boot camp.
No, long with 6 months.
Oh, it's a 6-month long boot camp, and it's taught by the people, the UCLA. Is it like backed by the university?
It's backed by extension, UCLA extension, and it's kind of accredited, quote unquote.
Ah, so it's a
you get
6-month
certificate after when you're done with it. So I did get a certificate after I was done with it.
Now, how much did it cost?
It's like I paid 8,500, but like it goes for like 10,000. You can see all that stuff on the website. I can just send you the link.
Sure.
You can actually Google it. It just usually coded bootcamps.
Yeah, no problem. So that's interesting. So it's the bootcamp extension. It's a 6-month long program. It's around $8,000, $10,000. And so how big was like the class that you were in?
It's like 40, and then it was like split between 2 classes. So we had like 2 teachers, and then one teacher was really good because he worked for like Riot Games. The other guy was a failed dentist, and then he was kind of emo. So I didn't like that guy very much. So I liked my other professor more because he worked for Riot Games.
Interesting. So you had 2 different. So who was? Did you have any coding experience before you jumped in?
Yeah, I learned code from Treehouse and Code School.
So you had some experience going in. Now, were the other students? Was it all kind of various different experiences? Some were like ex-engineers, and some had no experience at all. Then.
Yeah, some people were like IT. Some people did not know coding at all. The people that did not coding at all should have not been in the first place because it was really rigorous. But they let them in anyways. And then Bootstrap itself is like hard for someone like just jumping in. I'm like, how do you know like what classes are and all that CSS? I'm like, come on now, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so I mean, it definitely. So it went kind of a fast-paced environment then, right?
It was like it was so fast. It's like too fast. It was like insanely fast. It's like you learn something which takes months to learn. Like you can't learn like Laravel in like a week. That's like crazy. That takes at least 2-3 months. That's what I think.
Yeah, that's crazy. So, and then did they have grades or tests or anything?
They had grades. Like A through B to C to F.
And so did you have like weekly assignments that you had to turn in?
Assignments.
And how long were the sessions? Were they every day or every?
I forgot. I think it was 3 times a week.
Okay, 3 times a week. So in like an hour or 2-hour long classes?
Yeah, something like that. 2 to 4, I think.
Okay, so it wasn't like some of the coding boot camps where it's like 9 to 5, Monday through Friday for 3 months. It's a little bit A
That
little
was like,
less than that.
yeah, like part time. You can read
Got
more
it.
on the site I send you, like how it works. But
Okay.
it's been a long time. I haven't went to it for like a year. I don't remember everything, but I remember like I was there a lot.
So do you think, I mean, at the end of it, when you came out of it, I mean, what did you feel? Did you feel
I
like
just
you
felt like
learned
it didn't
enough?
really rush and then not prepare me for a job. Cause like, but I was like a junior developer for PHP before, but that's PHP though. It's not like JavaScript. JavaScript is its own little beast. You know what I mean?
I mean, were you able to get a job right away? I mean, let me ask you this.
I chose not to try to get a job because I already have like a good job right now. So I chose not to pursue it because like I realized I just have a good job. There's really no reason for me to switch out my current job. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So what could have made the program better?
um Better teaching because I think they didn't teach in the way like how the treehouse people or code school teaches. They teach way more detailed than what the bootcamp did. Bootcamp felt like very college, and then there's no hand holding. So basically, it's like you have code and that's it.
Yeah. So it was teaching you more like a classroom setting.
Yeah, like college style. Like you have a book and that's it. You're on your own, and then the professor can be the complete jackass, and then you're on your own. Like you know how UCs work. You know how like colleges work. It felt like that. It's
Yeah.
like a college, and then like yeah. So basically, for my college experience, I was pretty much on my own too. So I felt like that. Felt like college.
Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. Yes, I can imagine at the end of that you were a little bit disappointed because you expected more of to teach you all the essentials and to get you prepared for a job. Did they even do any mock interviews or algorithm interview
Yeah,
type stuff?
they prepared me for that. It's just like I'm not good with algorithms, and then that's something I gotta work on personally. But I'm just good at building, but algorithms are not my strength. And then I'm not good at unit testing at all either. So that's another thing I'm weak at. So those are my two weaknesses. And that's why I chose not to kind of pursue it in a way because I suck at unit testing.
You know, I as a developer who's been unit testing and working for a while, I can attest that I'm still not super great at it either. I'm definitely better than I was 5 years ago, but there's some things I'm like, do I want to start with test driven development or do I just want to nail this function and then add the tests in later? So that never goes away. Same thing with algorithms. Although I have heard some people that just somehow like algorithms clicked right away for them and they're writing big O notation and breadth first searches before they know how to do anything else. But for the rest of us, it takes a lot of discipline, a lot of practice, and you really have to have good teachers too to explain those concepts.
No, the thing is, my buddy was good at algorithms, but he's bad at building things because he didn't know any frameworks. I was good at building, and he was good at algos, so we come create projects together. It was like pretty good, but like, yeah, it just kind of weird. He could algo, but he couldn't build. So I was like, what's going on here? So we had two different strengths, so that was kind of interesting.
Yeah. I mean, you guys combine forces, you'll be perfect. You'll have everything.
Yeah, but like it felt like for me, I was like SMR as one TA, and then one TA was like I don't know, it was just weird. It was just a weird experience.
So you consider yourself you're more of a builder. You like to get out there and just build things
Yeah.
and fortunately, I mean, there are some companies that will hire definitely people who are builders and forget the algorithm parts. Just some certain companies will make you whiteboarding and do algorithms. Some will just kind of test your knowledge. So
Yeah,
it's kind of fun.
I'm just a CRUD app builder, man. You know, like REST API. Like you know, you make a Craigslist.
Yeah,
Just building all the same stuff.
that's very valuable skill. So would you be putting your this boot camp on your have you been putting it on your resume? I mean, since you didn't you sounds like you were
No,
happy with the job you have, but
I
it's been
like the
2
job
years.
I have, so there's really no point in pursuing it at the moment, unless like some like really good offer is on the table. But I don't see any good offers right now. So
That's one criticism I hear about boot camps in general is that some people are afraid to even put the boot camp on their resume because it sounds like maybe they're too junior or like the boot camp would maybe be a detriment. Do you think that's something you would leave off your resume then?
um, I don't know what it's like it might hurt and not hurt, but I haven't tested it, so I'm not sure how the recruiter views boot camps. So there's no statistic on like if a boot camp will hurt your resume or not.
That's a good point. Yeah, I mean, I guess there's no. Yeah, we haven't like tested it. I guess it just depends on
There's
what
no
the boot
numbers.
camp is.
No, there's no as actual statistics, so I have no clue. Will it hurt you or not hurt you? You know what I mean? That's what I'm thinking.
So if we that's a good point. So if we like go back in time 2 or 3 years before you started this and you started researching the different boot camps and going with this one, what would you have done differently? Would you have completely skipped the UCLA extension coding bootcamp extension program, or would you have just gone into?
I would have skipped it and probably like because I realized I could learn most of this on my own because basically they're just going through like their syllabus is basically stuff you can just like buy from like Udemy or you can like learn on your own reading docs. But the only thing that they gave me is like probably the work environment pressure, but I'm not even sure if that is really that. But it gave you that pressure because that's 1 week project, so like work pressure, and then basically you have this project, you have a week to finish it, and if you don't do it, you're just screwed, or you'd be out of a job. That's what I felt like when I was in there. But that's like the pressure you feel.
Yeah, and I guess you could argue you can set your own deadlines and try to make yourself feel that way too. What resources do you really like? Then I think you mentioned before that you'd used Team Treehouse. Is that what you said?
Treehouse is definitely my favorite. Code School, Free Code Camp is good for algorithms to practice. What's that other one? There's one more.
You ever take Udemy courses?
Yeah, I buy a lot actually. I like Udemy a lot. It depends on the teachers. I buy a lot of Udemy courses. Like,
yeah,
when I get a $10 deal, I'm like, all right, I'll buy it.
Yeah, that's one thing I always promote on my channel. People love it because those are cheap courses, and if you're out like $15 or $12, that's only $12. But usually you can get hours and hours of content. Definitely have to be more disciplined to keep track of it. I think sometimes people buy courses and they actually don't complete them or even watch them. But
yeah, I bought Spanish and I haven't finished mine.
All right, cool, Jason. Thanks for giving a few minutes to talk to me. I think that's one thing. It's important that there's different views on coding boot camps. It's not all sunshine and roses. That there are people that have taken these camps and completed them and thought, well, maybe this wasn't quite as worth as much as I thought it was. Maybe a little buyer's remorse at the end.
No, my thought is people want to become coders for the money, not for the passion. So I'm like, why are you just doing that for the money? It's like you just code for passion. That's what my belief is, not just code for money. I'm like, you're not a real coder then.
Yeah, exactly. And you'll find when you try to move up in your career and you start getting more advanced projects and you go from maybe front end to full stack, if you don't have that passion,
management and not do coding.
Yeah, you'll either move to project management or upper management and not do any coding, or you'll really struggle when you move into full stack because there's quite a few moving parts that you have to know to become a good developer, I think. One more question to finish the interview. So out of all the people from your class, you said there's 40 people, 2 teachers. I mean, how did you follow up with any of those people after the program? Did any of them get jobs? I mean, how successful do you think those other classmates are?
I had not talked to them anymore. We had a falling out, and no one in my class really liked me very much. So it's like I kept to myself; they kept to themselves. It's like it was just all bad vibes. So
yeah, that's not good. I mean, was part of the curriculum like group projects at the end then?
Yeah, there's group projects, a few.
So yeah.
And then one of my classmates was like super rich, she's a millionaire, so I don't even know why she was in there. So it's kind of weird. Like, you have a freaking $1 million home in Sawtell, and you're here. I'm like, why are you wasting time to learn how to code? Get out of here.
Yeah, that is kind of weird. All right, thank you, Jason. Once again, I really appreciate it. I'll ask this: do you want if someone wants to get a hold of you, they can contact me, and I can send them your information. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, cool. All right, man. Take care.
All right, bye. Peace.